Welcome back to part 2 of our at-home floral design tutorial. If you missed part 1, be sure and go back and watch it. It's all about the different supplies that we're going to need to put together a floral arrangement. This video is going to highlight how to pick out flowers at the grocery store, and then the third video is going to show you how to pull it all together and how to design your own floral arrangement at home. So this morning I went to Whole Foods over in Hingham. I know a lot of our followers happen to live in the South Shore of Massachusetts. You probably have access to a Whole Foods. If so, I definitely recommend it as my favorite place that anyone can go to get flowers, and of course you can get your groceries there too. And the next place, if you don't have access to Whole Foods, I would say Trader Joe's also has some great flowers. But no matter what, you can always find great flowers at the grocery store. So no matter which store you go to, you can absolutely find things to use. These just happen to be my favorite spots to find flowers. So I definitely felt like I hit the jackpot this morning at Whole Foods because they had these gorgeous parrot tulips. So I'm sure all of you are familiar with tulips, but this is just a specific species of tulips called parrot tulips. And they have these really cool ruffled edges that really open up really wide, and they come in all sorts of beautiful colors. So you can see I got this gorgeous kind of deep purple, and then this hot pink, and then this yellow that has a little pink on the edges. So for me, these really kind of inspired the whole kind of selection process for the rest of the flowers. So with that, that's one thing that I really suggest when you're going to the grocery store. Right now it's really difficult because the grocery store is limited in terms of what they're going to have in stock. So while there's plenty of different kind of basic rules you can follow around what flowers to pick out, I'll give you some guidelines, but then I would say just really go with your gut, and whatever you're really drawn to, pick out those flowers. They should be flowers that make you happy, the ones that your eye gravitates toward, and it will be beautiful no matter what. So it doesn't have to be an exact science. But one thing that I often will do is let one particular flower guide my choice for the rest of the arrangement. If there's one particular flower I'm really loving, I pick that out and then pick things around that I think are going to highlight it and elevate it even more. So obviously I chose the parrot tulips as my point of inspiration. I usually recommend limiting your color palette to 1 or 2 major colors, and then you can have variations within that color palette, but try and keep it simple. I think it looks more sophisticated, but of course in these times, whatever makes you happy is fine. If you want a million different colors, then that's what you should do. Obviously I have way more flowers than you would get at the grocery store, but I wanted to try a variety of different arrangements. So I went with 2 general color palettes for my flowers. One was purple, and I'll kind of show you where that ties in, and the other was pink and kind of this dusty pink yellow color. And so one of the first things you're going to need to pick out for your floral arrangement is some greens. The greens are going to be the base of your floral arrangement. They're going to help fill it out. What I found really interesting this morning is that usually there's a plethora of greens to choose from, and I had it in my mind that I was getting seeded eucalyptus, which is one of my favorite greens to use. And ironically, the greens were of the most shortage of anything in the floral department. So I was a little more limited by the greens that I could pick this morning. So as a result, my floral arrangements will be pretty floral heavy and not have as many greens in them, but that will be just as beautiful. So I got 2 types of greens. Doesn't matter what type you get. Here I have an assorted lemon leaf green and some trachelium, which I think is a really cool and interesting green for this time of year when it's Easter, because it kind of reminds me of that Easter grass that you would have in a basket for a kid. So I thought that would be kind of a cool green to tie in. And again, I was limited in my options. Then you want to choose some sort of kind of bulk filler flower. So these are the flowers that are going to really be the base of the structure of your arrangement, and they should be a little more hardy in nature. So for that, I chose 2 different types to show you. So one is just your basic rose. So that's these guys up front. You might get different varieties in your grocery store. Garden roses, if you can get them, are beautiful. They have more petals. But these are just your standard roses. And then I have Lisianthus here. Lisianthus is a really cool flower because it has multiple buds per branch. So it really makes an impact and really kind of beefs up their arrangement and fills it in. So again, first thing, pick kind of your focal point flower, your rockstar flower, the flower that you're really drawn to. Then get your greens, then get a filler flower. And then next, you're going to want to focus on continuing to fill out your arrangement and also provide it with some structure. So what I like to do for this is something that has a little more weight to it, something that maybe produces a line in your arrangement. You could use, what I chose today was Hyacinth because it's in season and it's beautiful and it's limited in this time of year. So I got a really pretty dusty pink color and a purple color. And I also got some white over here. If you can't get Hyacinth, another great way to fill out your arrangement is hydrangea, which you can get at most grocery stores. So again, it's just adding a variation. You want to make sure you're picking flowers that have different textures to them. Texture and color palette are the two biggest impacts to your arrangement and how they look. And then I always choose some sort of softer accent flower if I can. So what I was able to find this morning were some Ranunculus, which are these pink guys here, which are so sweet. What I love about Ranunculus is that they're such a soft flower, but they make such a big impact in an arrangement because they have so many intricate petals in there, and they really soften up an arrangement. So I thought against the Hyacinth that have more of kind of a structured, firm look, the Ranunculus just looks so pretty and sweet next to it. So those were the flowers that I picked out today at the grocery store. Again, everything that you're going to find is going to be a variation of what I was able to find today. So some of the things I think you would most likely be able to find at any grocery store: roses, hydrangea, tulips, and greens. So if that's the best you can do, you're way ahead of the game. So I would say those are like the most simple versions that you could use based off this overall kind of guidance of how to choose your flowers. So hope you enjoyed this part of the series. The third and final part will actually walk through how to prep all the flowers and how to actually put the design together. So that's of course our favorite part, so we're really excited to walk you through that. See you next time.